Yo, what is up? We are back. It's No Border Sports. I am No Crypto. I'm supposed to be joined by my co host Waruna. I think he might be hung up a little bit right now, but let's go live, anyways. All right. So 49ers. This is we were kind of going to talk about the breaking point of injuries in this team. And we're seeing a lot of injuries where it's our strength. And we've seen that we haven't had much of a drop off, which is amazing. But how long will that last? How many more injuries on the D line until there's drop off, a considerable drop off to where it challenges other parts of the defense to have to compensate and work harder, which I don't know about you, but when you're working harder and trying to be everywhere at once, not only can you make mistakes, but you can get hurt. And that's not what we need, is compounding. I really think the offense really needs to take some of the lead here and start working on sustaining drives that finish with touchdowns. Not every play needs to be a touch, or not every drive needs to be a touchdown. But I'd like to see them get across the 50 consistently. I'd like to see times where we can run the ball at will on people, not have to pass at all. Let's go back to that. I really think that's where we need to be. It's not with this here hit and miss with the run game, and then hopefully Jimmy can bail us out on third down. That's not where we want to be. If we want to bail ourselves out on second down with the run game, I feel that we need Trent Williams back. We need Trent Williams back now. McGlinchey being the best tackle on our line is not a good thing. Burford in and out with Brunskill, that's not necessarily a good thing either. You want good cohesion there. But I'm curious to see, would you guys have a concern for injury-wise and how many more defensive starters we could lose before we're just an average defense. Our offense, like I said, needs to stick it up, because how long can this defense hold things down? And should they be like, the moment the defense can't save the offense, nobody's going to be looking down on the defense, because they know the defense has been doing the job all year long. And that's not something. It's like in a relationship. You can't one person can't get everything they want while the other one is running around trying to sustain that. It's not a thing. And with defense, like, a defense can shut teams down, but it's harder for defense to score points. And if your offense can't put points on the board, like in certain games we've had issues, like when you have to rely on Robbie Gould for all your points, I mean, that's not a good thing. And the defense deserves better, especially with how they play. I think coming up, oh no, yeah, I didn't think about that. We need to get rid of turf. We need to totally get rid of turf. with as much as money is being made and being thrown around, turf needs to go. Oh, sorry. Here, fake grass this week. What up, Steve-O? Yeah, it's like, I don't know if you can see it or if it'll pick it up. No, probably won't pick it up. It's gotten lighter. But I got a nice turf burn right there on my arm from having it stepped on and rolled. That was fun. I mean, turf, you always had to have different shoes. You know what I mean? Either that or you were going with molded cleats because you could use molded cleats on there because they weren't studded. What up, Bashar? Everybody go check out 49er Minded. What's good? What's good? Yeah. Where was my train of thought? Here. But turf, I didn't really have a problem with it being so hard. I was a wrestler, so like falling on the ground and stuff like that, I learned how to fall. And so that wasn't an issue with me. It was more of the weird feeling under your foot. It was like, how to put it? It's like carpet that stuck to your foot. Kind of like when you're running. I didn't like it because you couldn't. My style of play is I'll be running straight forward, but I'll turn my hips to the side, and that's how I enter my turns at my full speed. And on turf, you can't do that. Everything has to be straight. You know what I mean? Or else you are working against it. I found it hard to play in like different, not dimensions, but in different directions. It either had to be straight or it had to be turned. There was no slide. There was no drift, which I like to play with. I like to play with that. That was my way. I'm not necessarily a fast, speedy guy. I got nice long legs. I want to be able to plant my leg in there, dig in, and turn as I go. And it doesn't. Like, you can't put your foot in sideways like this and dig. Everything's flat-footed. You know, like in grass, you could dig your foot back like this. On turf, you're on your toes. You know, or you're flat-footed, which you don't want to be. Well, I guess you're on your toes even, but when you're in the dirt, you've got leverage here, and then you've got something behind it that you can push on. I always found that our grass in my home high school, I felt that one was the best out of all of them because you could really get a good deep grip in the dirt. It was like there was a lot of sand, so your shoes could go in a couple inches and it was wet, but it didn't like turn into a mud bowl really until you fell down a lot. And it was grass is the way to go. Turf burns, everybody was always putting the stuff on their arms. Everybody's worrying about extra shirts. Shirts get ripped, stretched, all this type of stuff. Extra stuff for people to grab onto. Running backs, they all of them had to go out and buy the black neoprene. It was a neoprene or rubber guards on their arm because it would just cut up their arms just horribly when they fell down. It was just bad, especially the old turf. This new turf's different, but there's still grip. You know what I mean? It's weird stuff. Natural grass. You know, it gives away when it gets too much tension. You know what I mean? It's safe. It looks nicer to me. Grass fields looks real. Something about turf and how, perfect they get it makes it look fake to me, even though it looks pretty real. But there's the realness of real. You know what I mean? Coming up, we got the Falcons on turf, as Steve-O brought up. This is a team I've heard other people speak about it. Jesse Naylor from Last Second Sports, he was saying how he believes we're going to win, but he's not surprised if we lose. And I share those sentiments because they've brought it really close so many times. And, last week was a tragedy, travesty actually, of poor referee calling, I think. I don't know what defensive linemen or defensive players are supposed to do when sacking a quarterback. You can't bring them to the ground, because if somebody doesn't like the way you fell, it's a flag. Even if you roll off, if you don't roll off in the right amount of time, they might get mad at that. Okay. If you throw them down, oh, can't have that. That's horrible too. Okay. Well, I didn't put my body on them. Like I could understand like picking somebody up and throwing them down on their head, but when you throw them back onto the ground without, like, the other thing too is you're not tangling up their legs. You know what I mean? When you're falling, when you're throwing them down, you're not tangling up their legs. They're falling away from you. Your legs are underneath you. You know what I mean? Pushing them down. I think it's probably the safest way to do it. It might hurt your pride a little bit being thrown down like that by a grown man, but screw that. You know what I mean? Like I said, it's safer as long as the head's not hitting back hard. And if you got grass, good grass is not gonna hurt, bruh. You know what I mean? It's gonna be some nice, not nice, but oh, what's up, Damon Lee? Lawrence Taylor wouldn't last it. Oh man. Oh, what would Lawrence Taylor do today? I don't know. His style of play back then would not make him last. He would be out of the league real quick. But I feel like he was such a good player. He in today's game would adapt. He had natural ability just to throw people out of the way. Think about how people train nowadays. I think he would have been even more of an athletic freak than he was then, as far as strength. He could have been bad. He knew what he was doing more so than the coaches at times. Some of his coaches at times, I think. He just had a knack for football and getting after it. So I actually feel he would do all right. I wonder what Mike Alstott would look like today. He was a beast. I wonder if, people would have to change their ideas of how to go about attacking the offense if he was on a team. Because I think he's more of a monster than Marshawn Lynch was and King Henry. So I wonder what he would be like today. Also, like, what would be some of them quarterbacks that got mangled back in the day? What would they be like in today's game? Some of them were really beautiful throwers of the ball. I mean, they just had it. Like, we have our own Joe Montana. Imagine if he wasn't banged up all those times to the point where he wasn't himself anymore. where could he have gone? But you got to think of other ones like I don't know, Dan Marino. Not saying he's like number 2, but that guy, if he could have played today's game, he might have been able to do more. Maybe if he wasn't on the Dolphins. Maybe this year if he was on the Dolphins. But yeah, there was, who was it? You see, Marino's like the one that I remember who never got anything. And I just think in today's game, with how the passing goes, I think he would have been big. That's what I'm saying, Bashar. I mean, it's kind of unfair. Like, there should almost be an asterisk on the stats for before and after Brady. You know what I mean? Like, before Brady, after Brady, BB and AB. Like, Jesus Christ. Yeah, I think there should be an asterisk because the rules started to change, not necessarily because of him, I wouldn't say, but during his time frame. They were looking at things that were going on, and yes, there were certain things that people weren't up on, plays that happened with him that were up in arms about, but they were also up in arms about other plays that were similar. The things that got changed was like the arm going forward. That was, holy Jesus, that's something different. I'm talking about people getting hit. Like, look at Tua today. Look at Tua in today's time. Everybody got just, like, even me, like, I didn't want to see, and it's not like it was a bad hit. It wasn't a bad, it looked bad afterwards with his hands going that way because he was still concussed. So something that it's something that's been there throughout the times, and we just need to figure out how to make things better. Because I wish Waruna was here right now, because he's all about the rugby tactics and how safe they can play. I was talking to a gentleman who supposedly played rugby for the Tongan national team with Talanoa Hufanga's father. I guess it's a really close-knit community. So I don't know. Might have to talk to him about some rugby sometime. I think that would be awesome. But this guy still plays for the national team. He still trains with the guys. He still plays for their national team. And he's an old construction worker. I don't think he's going to have CTE. You know what I mean? So I think if we can learn things from games like rugby and other sports to make football better, because you got to understand this too. I was a product of your head is a weapon. Okay? So I could have CTE because I played with reckless abandonment, because I was told, well, I wasn't told. No one said, listen here, Ryan, your head is a weapon. But everything you learned in football drove you to understand that if you can use your head to put it in a certain position, you can stop a play, you can stop a player, you can change the course of a game. And I think moving away from that, because of what we've seen, like Aaron Hernandez being that bad with CTE after only a couple years in the league, no, it was because he was doing things like we were doing in our football in high school. And you're talking about how many people who didn't go into the NFL have got CTE from that exact same stuff? Um, this shouldn't be a burden that NFL players have to deal with, and it shouldn't be a burden that people growing up, going to high school, playing high school sports should have to deal with after high school or college. You know what I mean? Football should be a game from the bottom up that can be played by anybody without any long-term effects other than sore knee. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's such a great game. The violence of it that makes it so good shouldn't be the thing that does it in. Oh no. Oh no. Because also you got to think back in the 80s, like 70s, 80s, it was like, oh, you're concussed? Okay, well, you're still starting, bro. Like, sorry about that. Like, you need to get yourself together. Most Ricky tick now. Yeah, Junior Seau. That was really big because Junior was the rock of that defense. He was the Ray Lewis of the time. Like, you did not want to mess with Junior Seau because Junior Seau is going to make you pay. If you left one of your receivers out in his area, he was going to hook him up. And yeah, see what happened with him. It was a tragedy. You know, he was a hero to a lot of linebackers. Everybody who was a linebacker was trying to be like Junior Seau because he was the real deal. There's nobody at that time when he came out and came into the league. There was nobody at that time who was running shit quite like him that I remember that made an impact like he made an impact because everybody was talking about linebacker. It was Junior Seau. And it was like 4 guys on the shitty Chargers, but they got the best linebacker out there. And it's kind of like, you know, Detroit Lions with Barry Sanders. You know, Detroit, they're a shit team, but you got to watch out for Barry. He'll take over the whole game if you let him. Don't let that man do it. Who else? There was that Chiefs player who murdered his girlfriend. That's what I'm saying. There needs to be a good change. Now, let's get to the Falcons. I don't know what I'm scared about. I think their D-line could be an ornery bunch of dogs, but I'm not sure if they're going to show up to play. Our offensive line is extremely aggressive themselves. Can they play up to the same level and show up? You know what I mean? Some people get intimidated when they get punched in the face. They just try and lay down and make it stop as soon as possible. While other people go, hey, good job. I'm going to try and beat that. You know what I mean? It seems like they don't want to use Kyle Pitts. I don't know if he's in some sort of a doghouse. Who knows there? Calvin Ridley is, of course, suspended for the year for gambling, which I still don't get. I think it's stupid. How do you bet on your team to win? It's not like you knew that they weren't going to play somebody. It's not like you knew the game plan of your team and knew that it was going to suck against that. He bet for his team to win when he wasn't playing. And it wasn't like it wasn't a life-changing amount of money. That was, I'm bored, let me bet on my team. This is like, but it's not. Pete Rose was betting against. He was and shaving points and doing all that. Like, this is, he's got no impact on the game. They ended up winning the game, right? Did they win the game? It's like the amount of money he won on it. It's not even like it's trying to get away with something. It was, for him, it was probably just a regular bet on something. And it makes no sense to me. Oh my God. What, Damien, is there something you're scared about on their team? I just feel that as a whole, they might show up to play. And if we have another injury, like I'm saying they sit Bosa. I don't think they should play Bosa. I think Bosa should sit and just save him for the Chiefs. Like, get good, bruh. Like, ice up, heat pack, all that. Whatever Doc's telling you, whatever the trainer's telling you, do all that. Get ready. He doesn't even need to practice. All he needs, the only practicing he needs to do is a side scissor. His little side scissor move. You know what I mean? His little side scissor, side scissor, side scissor, side scissor. That's all he needs to do. I don't know about resting everybody, but yeah, I see where you're going. I just don't think we should sacrifice one game to hopefully have a better chance at winning another. I think we should try and smash both in the face. What up, Geltz? What up, Rich? Beard the beard. Yay! Yeah, bro. Beard the beard. I cut it off a little bit the other day, and I put a little patch in it, but oh well. It can barely even see. Rich, what's your take on this Falcons game? The Falcons aren't even worth it. Just let rest people and give the rookies the experience. But the Falcons been playing people hard. They stuffed Leonard Fournette. They were a PI, or not a PI, but a roughing the passer away from winning that game. And that offensive line's no slouch. I mean, the Tampa Bay offensive line's no slouch. So you're talking about some things. I have a feeling if Wilson and Coleman are getting stuffed, I think we might see a Jordan Mason, hopefully. No, I wouldn't start Barrett this week. No. He's just practicing. Like, just started practicing. I'm not trying to throw him back. And see, like, look what they did with Jimmy Ward. They put him in, and they were putting him in punts and stuff like that, and they were trying to ease him back in. Now, he got injured there, and that's unfortunate, but I can't shy you away from, putting other people and stuff. It's just stuff that happens, Jimmy needs to go back and start taking some more vitamin D. Celts with the 2017 49ers. That could definitely be. Or if they stuff our run game, then we could score more through the air, because the more chances for Yak or from Brandon Ayuk and Deebo Samuel, I think the more the chances for the score to go up. Jimmy throwing deep balls in practice. That I was, everybody. Damien, 22, huh? 22 to 16. Let's see. 22. How do you get to 22? 76. God, how many field goals are we getting without Robbie Gould? Holy moly. Let's see, 14, 8. Oh, well, we could be doing 2-point conversions. Let's see, 3 touchdowns and 2 2-point conversions. Now, would it be a great game still if it was like this? Did he throw an interception in the Saints game? Like, what if it was like, what if he balled out and like threw for like seven tuds or 5 tuds? And an interception. Is that balling out? Is that like, how balling out is that? Like on a scale to 1 to 10 for Jimmy? Is that a 10, or is that like a? Because he did have that dang 50 burger. Well, he didn't have it. There was other people on the team running the ball and whatnot, but 2-point conversion. Okay. Yes, that's a great. Anything over is extra credit, huh? At what point would a great game and him have an interception? Would it be a 5 tutty and an int? Would that be a good game? 400 yards. Okay, yeah, let's get into this. Who starts opposite of Ward? I think they're going Lenoir, Demo. I think he's proven himself to be the best fill-in in that spot with his time last year and what he's shown this year. And I think we see Womack in the nickel spot. Things could change. Schematically wise, I see D'Amico maybe making switches depending on what personnel is. Not necessarily on the Falcons, but when you've got Womack and you've got Demo, you could do different things, right, and use them different ways. And maybe, maybe you have more confidence in Demo. So when you're playing the Rams, Demo, who would normally be your outside corner, is now your slot because of Cooper Kupp. And Womack is now on the outside. You know what I mean? So I think for the next game, it's Demo. You're keeping your eyebrows, right? I'd almost say I'd join you, but my daughter would freak if I didn't have a beard. She'd seen me a couple times without a beard, and it hasn't gone well. She'll look away, and then she'll hear my voice, and she'll go, "Oh, it's Daddy," and she'll turn around, and she'll see me without a beard. And then she turns around. She thinks like some imposter has cloned her father, but changed its face. And Joy Self, sir. Everybody go out and watch Celts Chronicles. He does a great show. He's always up on topics. The man is just a single entity. He doesn't have a co-host like I do, but he kicks butt out there. I really appreciate stuff, just like Jesse Naylor and Bashar, 49er Minded. Also Aaron from 49er First Takes, and Betho from Niner Sickness. A lot of people. Mariah and TL from 49er Faithfully. Rohan. I mean, gotta go out and check all these people out. They're the best. What do we do to spicing up our offense? From what I've seen, it seems like people are trying to cut off the screen passes. Like the linebacker will immediately jump the gap there and try and get his hands up and is in the way of the pass. I think we need to switch it up, and instead of one of the guys blocking for the screen pass, he pretends like he is, and he hits the slant. I don't know why he hasn't made this correction. They were doing it all last game. Every time we would throw a slant, seemed like Jimmy was having to throw the ball over somebody, to the side of somebody, away, I believe, at one point in time. I think we need some corrections to either make with our offense, to make the defense play us honestly, because they're not. Because it seems like Kyle, I don't know, forgot half of the plays and just wants to run the ones that he likes. Because it's not beneficial. I mean, he's calling the same type of play. We can't even, like, the sweeps. Sweeps ain't coming with a Debo in the game. Maybe we should use that to our advantage. Maybe we should run sweeps with somebody else. We haven't done that with Ayuk in a while. I don't personally, how to put this, I don't like the look when Ayuk runs the sweeps. It seems too rigid in the turn. It looks weird to me. But once he's going straight, the guy's a baller. Lateral movement for him when he has to get out and avoid people. It's better when he's going straight up to vertical, so the lateral movement that he does to get out of the way is side to side and it's not negative. Because I don't know. I just don't. I feel like he can get caught in bad spot. Like, he doesn't have that same running back vision as Deebo Samuel does, especially in that area of the line. Anything behind the line of scrimmage to the line of scrimmage, and maybe about 2 yards past it. But after that, I think Ayuk's got the vision for everything he needs. I just think in that area of the field, he's not the best, but he's somebody who's not Debo, who they might not be expecting it. I'd also like to see less complex blocking schemes at times. And as far as the offensive line goes, and more holes, less complex blocking schemes with the same size of holes. I just wish we could just straight up play some old school style football, use our fullback, and go up the middle. Double down on everybody, front and center. Double down on your front two tackles. Then you get up to the secondary. Fullback clears out the mic. And then you've got one person, essentially a safety, maybe two that you got to beat. Other than that, that's how we should play football. We've got guys that can make moves. We've got players that can do it. I think every play having such a complex blocking scheme makes it so there's so much to think about instead of just going downfield. Danny Gray jet sweeps. David McNew, what's up? Yes, Danny Gray jet sweeps. Let's see what they look like. I do think that they will play the chance of jet sweeps with Danny Gray the same as they do Deebo. I have a feeling. It's kind of why I was leaning towards Brandon Ayuk, because he goes emotional a lot and never gets the ball on a sweep. But he's done them before, and it seems like they just rotate. They just rotate coverage. They don't come up field when the ball's snapped when he does it. But I can be wrong. I haven't necessarily been looking at every play and watching to see if this happens. This is from my field from what I can remember from the games. Because there's ways Kyle uses certain people, and I think that is how they know what's happening. They know if it's a sweep play, Deebo's going to do it. If it's a run up the gut, Deebo's going to do it. It makes no sense. Yeah, I think Kyle should start using everybody like they're Deebo. And that's where you're going to, not that you can, but if you use people who have maybe two strengths, you know what I mean? Use them in their other strength and build the facade of they can do other things by other tactics. Maybe throw one of your complex blocking schemes in with somebody who's not necessarily the best runner, but you put them in the backfield. I think there's ways you can make it so everybody's a Deebo kind of, and I don't think Kyle's doing that. Like Juwan Jennings, I want to thank him for those catches this week. They were clutch. But if you're always going to Jennings on third down, people are just going to cover Jennings on third down. We need Charlie Warner to get a big third down play. That's the people who we need to make sure can make those plays. Like Charlie Warner or Dwelly, we know can make them, but he can't get out on the field. Kyle won't put him out there. We need to start using juice. You know what I mean? Stop taking juice out on third down. Leave juice in. Figure out what's going on with this. Is there a blitz? Do we think there's a blitz? Okay, let's keep juice in. Is there no blitz? Do we think there's no blitz? Put juice out. Motion him out. He can catch a ball. In fact, you might have the best matchup on him. There might be a linebacker covering him. And they can't cover juice the way juice the way he needs to be covered. He runs routes like a wide receiver. He makes catches like a wide receiver. He is not your average fullback. His only thing that he doesn't have essentially against the linebacker will probably be height and maybe length. He's kind of a shorter guy. He might be the same size as some linebackers, but I think some of the bigger ones, they're probably bigger. But that's something he can change with position, which he's great at because he's a great wide receiver. So I don't understand why it's always like Juwan Jennings on third down you got to go to, or a Kittle, or a, you know what I mean? Everybody should be used on third down. I understand that certain people do better on third down. They're more clutch, I guess you would say. Um, but I think through confidence of doing it, people become more clutch. You know what I mean? When the heat's on, it's people who make that last ditch effort to get it done, and then you can see that you can do it. And then also, after you can see that you've done it many times, then you start believing you can do it. And that's one of the best things, because then you don't have hesitation, you don't have doubt. And when you don't have doubt circling in your brain about something, you can make better decisions and quicker decisions because you're not second guessing. Your first gut instinct is usually the best. So being able to play fast like that can make you better. That's what I'm saying. I don't understand why Kyle does this. I would put Debo in the backfield and fake the ball to him in a play action pass. Throw that. Bye. Get it out of here. David, what'd you think about Jimmy's pass to Danny Gray last week? I personally, when he did it, I was happy, even though it should have been picked off, because I didn't think he had the balls to do it. I truly didn't. So I'm actually pretty happy that he did. I appreciate him for trying it. And he came out in practice and was trying to throw deep balls. I appreciate that too. Jimmy, why now? Why now do you try and make your game better? Like, why now? Why now? Oh, that's just a way here. That's just a way here. There we go. Thought I had some lunch or some dinner in there. Yeah. Why now, Jimmy? You had all this time. You could have done this years ago and already had this in your pocket. Well, yeah. I'm just so frustrated. Why didn't you do it at your second job? You know, this job. Like, you can already have it in your bag. Opening the offense up. Be an asset, Jimmy. Oh. I still don't think he does. Oh, you know it. And it's funny, I didn't have that cringe feeling when he did it that time with that throw to Danny Gray. But there was other ones. People were like, "Oh, he had a great game. Jimmy had a great." There was 3 passes that should have been picked off. That's not a great game. That's a bad defense. Like, they should have gotten at least one. Out of three chances, you should at least get one. I'm just saying. Out of 4, you better get one. That's why I never liked Josh Norman. It was like, oh, he gets fumbles. We never get the fumbles back. They always fall on the ball. You can't have hugs on people going down the field. Like, people are having to wear him like a jacket, and but he gets the fumbles. There's laundry all over the field. They got the fumble. So what do we have that's good? Nothing. I'd totally rather have Dante Johnson. I clowned on him in the beginning. It wasn't right. Guy has issues, but he's got a plateau. I don't see him getting above it. But if you expect him to do what he can do and not expect anything more from him, you can see how he's got a place on this team. You know what I mean? Why he's manageable for the most part. He plays hard. The guy doesn't want to look as bad as he does at times. You know what I mean? It's like he cares. You could tell by how he plays. He also plays hurt. He plays his ass off for you. And to me, I appreciate that in people. You don't hear him out being a loudmouth like Josh Norman was, play like shit, you run your mouth. You can't run your mouth without good play. You can't talk shit without good play. Josh Norman talk a lot of shit. No fumble recovering ass bitch. Yeah. State of the franchise. If the injuries keep up, I don't see a road to the playoffs. Not with the schedule down the stretch. But we also can't. I don't think we can rest people to hopefully get a win against a Falcons team that has been close to upsetting and has upset people. It's not one you want to mess with. Just that. Because it'd be nice if you could phone this in. And with that, I think I'm going to sign off. I want to thank everybody for watching. Bashar, David McNew, Steve, Damien, Kelts, Rich from Kelts Chronicles. Let's see. Because without you guys, I'd be talking to my damn self. So I appreciate you stopping in, spending your time with us here at No Border Sports. And with that, peace.